Hello, you beautiful legends, and welcome to Blunt Force Healing Podcast. This is episode number 772, and I mysteriously named it BH, but there's no mystery behind it. It's just a short for bank holiday, which is a common name for national holiday in Ireland and in the UK. So generally on the islands. At the moment I am leaving Resnala, but about it I will be talking more and updating tomorrow, because this is a back journal, or I'm journaling about the days before. So today is Tuesday and I will be talking about Monday. And Monday was bank holiday here in Ireland. The initial plan was to spend the whole bank holiday operating the sauna, our small business that we started in June, July. And but after that long weekend and pretty exhausting 3 days, we decided to skip Monday bank holiday and not deploy the sauna and focus on a bit of our own mental and physical health and just simply relax. The thing is that we sacrificed potentially a bit of revenue, because bank holidays are when plenty of people come to the beach, and it was a good opportunity to earn some money. But money is not everything. Of course, it makes things easier, but we need to remember about our own heads and bodies in general. And the good side of skipping that bank holiday is that the rest of the week is also kind of busy, because not only in Ireland but also in Northern Ireland, I believe, and the UK, it kind of aligns with the midterm break. So kids are off school for a week. It's always around Halloween time, so basically parents can plan for some escape or short time off and take kids out. And this is what is happening. It definitely got busier over the weekend, and now into the week it's definitely much more people than usually was in October. But yeah, bank holidays started pretty average. When we decided to skip the operation, I turned off any booking systems to make sure that nobody books anything for that day. And the first half of the day really went through our fingers. I don't even remember what happened from the very morning. We were doing small things like coffee, waffles and all that stuff, but nothing special. We even played some table tennis with my wife, and it just, you turned around and suddenly it was about 1 p.m. So we decided to go for a family walk because Julian is off school. So we finally had kind of opportunity to do midday family walk. So we packed to the car, we started driving, and immediately after exiting the driveway I heard the terrible sound, screeching sound, and I kind of knew straight away what it can be. We turned around and it was terribly loud. It was like a piece of metal is scraping against the road, and it was loud, believe me. And I knew what it was almost 100%, because it happened to me just recently, about a month or so ago. And at the time, I didn't know what it is, and I panicked. Well, panicked in my head, obviously, not literally and physically, but it felt that sound was like something terribly bad broke or happened to the car. And you know, you could hear that for a mile at the time, and now it wasn't any better. So we returned to the driveway. It was already we were already a little bit upset, and I was wondering how will I sort it out. No garage is open at on bank holidays, so there was no chance to ask someone to help out in the garage. The last time I paid about €15 for the hassle of 15 minutes work, and I'll tell you in a second what it was, unless you read the blog post or listened to the podcast episode at the time, then you know what it was exactly. So recently, on the way to Rosnala, in 2 or 3 spots, county council started fixing the roads. And when they fix the roads, they usually use tar with some little stones. And those stones are pretty hard stones. And because tar is sticky and it never stays completely flat and in the road, because when they are fixing, obviously they will patch the road or even it out, but then there's plenty of small stones that are loose on the road, and they just kind of travel in different speeds under the wheels, and they hit the underbody so you can hear them. There are kind of warning signs, but most of the time nothing happens. But the last time, when I didn't know what happened, one of those stones got stuck or jammed in between the disc brakes. So there's brake disc, and there's kind of cover or something else, and in between those there's a very small kind of area or space where this stone kind of locked itself, and it stuck to one of the walls and basically was scratching against the disc brake, and that was the sound. And believe me, that sound is loud and scary. So I went to the mechanic. They took the wheel off. They found the stone. They removed it. They charged us €15. It was probably about 15 minutes work for them, or 20 minutes. And I was very, very reasonable price for taking my nerves to a calm level, back to calm level again, and have a quiet car again. But this time I didn't have garage in and about, and I knew that we went through that tar and stones multiple times, and I kind of felt like I heard that yesterday slightly when I was returning with the sauna, or the day before on Sunday. So that kind of aligned with what I was expecting. And as I parked in the driveway, and I didn't have any jack or any wheel wrench, so I couldn't do it myself because I didn't have tools. And the first thing was actually the neighbor of ours was leaving for some walk, and I stopped him, disrupted a bit, and said about this. He asked me to do a kind of maneuver, like just to speed up on reverse and brake and then go forward. So sometimes it loosens the stone and it falls off, but it didn't work. So I asked him if he has the jack and the wrench, and he said he has it, no problem at all. So we went, and I thought that he will give it to me and just kind of take off, and then when he returns I will give it back to him. But he's always very hands-on and very helpful, so he decided to help me out and do it quickly. So we went on for it, and we took the wheel off. And indeed, when I inspected that space between the brake disc and that kind of cover or that metal thing, there was a small stone that was not stuck to any of the walls, but it couldn't get out. So it was traveling between, I would say, within certain distance and space between the brake disc and that cover, and whenever it was locking, it was causing that screech sound. So I used the knife to take it off. I removed it. Eventually, it took me a couple of minutes, but it gone off. I inspected the rest of it, and it looked fine. So it seems like there was only one stone. We put the wheel back on, screwed it up. I thanked my neighbor a lot because I kind of disrupted his departure for a break, for a walk, but he was fine with it, and I need to kind of pay it back in some way. Obviously, he doesn't want anything. I proposed some gift or whatever, but he said, like, listen, this is not worth it. I just did it, and it's fine. But obviously, it's that reciprocity that lurks in my head that I want to fulfill. So I will give him back in some way, but I guess he did it because because he's nice, but also I don't have at all problem with that, because recently I also spent about half an hour helping him out to unload some stuff for his build in the garden. So I guess we are square even in terms of help. So that was nice. We then drove to the bakery shack. We got our coffees. I took the iced coffee this time. It was very nice and warm. It was a high tide, so we left the car at the slipway or at the ramp where we usually stand with Sona, and we went on a walk. It was beautiful weather, very nice walk. We enjoyed it thoroughly together. And later on, we didn't want to spend time on making any dinner, so I drove to our friend with a pizza van. And if you think pizza, it's not the pizza that you have in mind. It's a proper Italian pizza. These guys have like the merchandise. They don't have merchandise. They have franchise called Napoli Express. So they have specially built vans for pizza oven that is wood fired. It goes about 400 degrees Celsius, and they do proper dough for the pizza that rests overnight and whatever, so he has it ready the next day. And they do a very simple, very nice Italian pizzas. So we took 3 of them, and usually with the deal you get 3 pizzas and equal size garlic bread, which is lovely. So we got that for dinner, and then spent some time watching something on Netflix. So that was pretty much it. And later in the evening I kind of popped out for a drive. I got to the gas station, grabbed a bag of extra logs for Tuesday deploy of the sauna, some kindlings as well. And then on the way back I went around and stopped at Drumbar United FC grounds, which was completely pitch black. And I stopped the car there, I parked it, turned the lights off, so it was completely dark, and I did my meditation, which is my new habit that I'm trying to build. I've failed kind of first time after 2 weeks, so I'm rebuilding the streak. I'm at day 5 at the moment or so, but I'm not counting the days to have some form of achievement. I'm counting them more towards keeping the track of it and maintaining a longer streak to then build a habit and not need to track anything and just implement meditation as part of my daily routine, because I feel it helps a little bit. I can't describe exactly what it does, but it definitely helps. And after that meditation I came back home, and that was pretty much it. So that's the very long update, 16 minutes almost. Thank you very much for tuning in. I always appreciate your presence, your time spent on reading or listening to me, and you could do a lot of different, more exciting things. Thank you very much for being here. Have a great rest of the day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are on the globe. Stay tuned and see you again.